Hey guys, how's it going? When I talk about men of values as a channel, I want to explain this. That applies to anybody that wants to listen. It's meant to focus more on traits of masculinity and being a traditional man, not what we would consider a toxic masculine man, but traditional. So I don't want to be exclusive because if you were born a woman, I'll deal with this. When you were born a woman, but you identify as a man, and you can find value in anything that I'm sharing, join, be aboard, come on with it, and then make comments. You can email me if you have any questions. And for the gay community, if you're a gay man, but you're not the super feminine gay man, you're a masculine gay man, and you want to tune up your masculine traits, tune in. This is for everybody. When I say men of values, I just realized that there's a decline in the masculine traits in society as far as men nowadays. And I'm sure anybody can agree if they're paying attention. So this video is about taking inventory of your personal qualities, your assets that might appeal to another person in a relationship. I mean, a person that wants to be in a relationship with you. And I wanted to mention Kevin Samuels. He passed away. I don't want to put this in the title because that's a quick way to generate clicks. Like people like Kevin Samuels, click, click. Like I want to hear more about him. You can search Kevin Samuels on YouTube to find out more about him. And what he did, he was basically trying to fix an issue or address an issue within the Black community between the men and women and trying to generate or get a better understanding of the relationships that they pursue, right? I subscribed. I've been watching his stuff for years, and he is blunt. He's straight to the point, and we need that. We need that. And I am sad that he's gone. Didn't know him personally, but I've watched so many hours of his material. And what he would do is get a woman online, and she would ask questions, and he would basically help this woman take inventory of what she has to offer in a relationship. That's awesome. And when I talk about it right now, paying respect to Kevin Samuels, we all need to do that. Men too, right? When I say men of values, you should know already before you're in a relationship what you bring to the table, what you offer. You should know your value to a potential partner before you get in a relationship. If you're already in a relationship, maybe it's a checkpoint for you. That's always important. You might have been married for 20 years and you're starting to get laxed on your masculine qualities, because you're getting comfortable. Now, getting comfortable is a good thing, but you also need to maintain your focus. Now, what your focus is not for me to determine, certainly not. But there's the masculine qualities that attracted your spouse, your wife, or your girlfriend. And you shouldn't lose focus of those because you don't want her to lose focus of the attraction that she has for you, right? So when Kevin Samuels was doing this, there were women that were quick to express their expectations, right? But not quick to voice their assets, right? What they bring to the table. And on my last dating profile, there was like, put a quote in here or what you think, what you want your first date or your next date to know. I said, bring effort to match your expectations. And that's kind of the same thing because I think a lot of people just want to build a movie in their head, what they want a relationship to be, and they want to select an actor to fill that role. That's not the way it goes. It's not the way it goes. You have to take inventory. Almost, let's say we strip the emotion out of it, right? And let's make it a business contract. Now, would I get into business with you if you're bringing 20% value to the table where I'm bringing 80? It's a bad deal for me. And that's what we're talking about as far as assets and effort, personal inventory. So Kevin Samuels was bringing it to light, and it might have been considered misogynistic, right? Being a dick. A lot of women hated him, right? But what he was doing was bringing it to light. And he was talking the truth. If you have, sorry to say, If you have 3 kids from 2 different dads, you're divorced, you're 42 years old, and you want that prime guy, no, no. Or if you spent your whole life building your education and your career, and now you're 45 and you have plenty of money and everything's doing fine and great in your life, now you want to select a man and you want that high value man. That high value man is looking at maybe building a family and having kids. So he's going to be looking at the younger, more fertile, more hot woman, right? And it goes back and forth for men and for women, or, for gay relationships. I don't know enough about that to comment on it. But if you don't evaluate your value, if you don't take inventory of your assets for a relationship, you're doing a disservice to yourself. Because there might be some fine tuning that you could do that's easy, right? Maybe you just need to focus on going to the gym twice a week instead of sitting on the couch. Simple, right? And I tell you what, if you go to the gym, releases endorphins, takes care of depression, and you look better later on, right? And maybe that's something that makes you more appealing, right? So that's building your assets. Maybe it's striving for a promotion instead of just showing up for work every day. These are all things that we need to take a look at. And that's why Men of Values, I open up these discussions and give you something to talk about or think about. Taking personal inventory is one of the biggest things that I've done after every relationship. It's like, okay, why did it fail? It might have been I could easily blame the woman. Say, well, I failed because this woman was crazy, or she was a cheater, or drugs, or alcohol, or bad family upbringing. I could blame her all the time, right? I mean, I'm not saying with every relationship, but there's been points where I could figure out a way to lay blame on the woman. But the thing that I did was looked at it as if, okay, what could I have done different? Did I make a bad selection? Did I hang out and try to make it work for too long, right? Did I not bring enough to the table to keep her interested and attracted, right? We should all do that in our relationships. Like I said, whether it's a gay relationship or whether it's a woman wanting to identify as a man and she likes the Men of Values ideas, right? And she wants to focus on her masculine traits. With that, we should all be evaluating our personal assets, what we bring to a relationship, instead of just voicing our expectations. Because I could tell you my expectations up and down, back and forth, and I never expect to get all those expectations met. But in pursuit of those expectations, I do pay attention to what I bring to the table, because I might be out of my league. If I'm only bringing 20% and I'm looking for the woman that's 80%, I know there's 2 things I need to do, or 2 things I should look at, either adjusting my expectations or increasing my value, right? I would love to keep going on this. Part of the reason I did this video is because I wanted to wait till some time passed before we lost Kevin Samuels. If you're watching this video, please do a search on him. He's a classy guy. I love the guy. I do. I mean, not like as far as a personality, not like I know the person, but he was blunt, and that's what we need more of. Just say it like it is. Shoot it straight. Don't beat around the bush. If you have to discuss something, there's points that you got to get across, you do it. You don't what they say, pussyfoot, you don't sugarcoat it. Shoot it straight. Get the communication open. That's how you solve things, or that's how you make adjustments, or that's how you communicate. So I'm going to miss him. I'm going to keep watching his old material because there's a lot that I haven't seen yet. But what he did was get women to focus on, and it's not just the women that need to do this, but he got women to focus on what they bring to the table and what their expectations were, because there's typically an imbalance. And as men, we can understand that if there's a problem in the relationship, typically, not all the time, the woman doesn't want to take responsibility for it. She doesn't want to be held accountable for what she does that's not considered right. Men might be the same. I mean, a woman might be watching this and be like, yeah, my ex-boyfriend, yeah, always did that. He would cause all kinds of problems. He would cheat, and he would find a way to blame it on me and this and that narcissism characteristic, right? We all understand that. If you've been dating for 5 years or more, you understand that. You came across that. And I think everybody needs to get in tune with what they bring to the table and understand their expectations and find some place in the middle where you're not overshooting. Because then if you overshoot your expectations versus what you bring to the table, you're going to get disappointed. And I'll say this. There's women that think they're so deserving of everything. Now here's why. Because they get the attention from enough men that they think their worth is through the roof. Well, they might be sexy, might be attractive. Cool. So you get the attention. But the goal should not just be to get the attention. It should be to get the dedication, right? Now, that's a guy that's going to choose you as a woman that he can partner with. You know, to get the attention, I remember when I was in my 20s, if there was a hot girl and I was attracted to her, I'd give her attention. Pull back a little bit and give a little more. Pull back and then push it. The whole intent was to get the results I was looking for, and it wasn't a relationship, right? So that should be in focus of everybody. You know, is the person that you're interested in trying to get your attention? Or are they trying to give dedication? There's a difference between the two, and that's the difference between dating, I want to have sex with you, and keep having sex with you, and keep the door open so I can call you in the middle of the night to have sex with you, or there's I'm giving you dedication because I want to build with you. And the women that don't evaluate what their assets are, what they bring to the table, they can get the attention, right? But can they get the dedication? And we can flip-flop that for men and women too. Men could be like, yeah, you know, I'm cocky, I get the hot chicks all the time and everything. Okay, or the typical alpha football player, bodybuilder, masculine man, attractive, you know, sharp jaw, all that good shit, right? He can get the attention of the women. But the women might just want to break from their stable relationship that provides everything that they need in life. They want that alpha guy. So they might take a break from that and spend time with you. But are they going to give you dedication? So taking personal inventory of what you bring to the table is very important, but you also have to look at what you can harvest from the dating field. Are you going to harvest attention, or are you going to harvest dedication? And it might be that all you want is attention, right? You might be 23, you don't want to settle down. That's fine. And like I said, for men or women, it doesn't matter. And that's fine. But if you start to veer towards the idea of wanting to settle down or wanting to build a solid relationship, you're going to have to take inventory of what you bring to the table, because they're going to be doing the same thing. And why would they settle for you if you're bringing 20% when they could find somebody that's going to bring 50%? You know, it's just, we have to look at that instead of just showing up and being like, I deserve this, I deserve that. Or if you're 28-year-old woman, you're working out, you're doing your thing, you're eating the right food, you're hot, you know, you're getting your hair and makeup done, whatever, you're going to get the attention, right? And you might get the dedication, but typically during that age bracket, they like to enjoy the attention, right? And we're attention whores. I mean, I'm kind of doing the same thing, right? Except for I don't post the best picture out of 18 of them. I shoot these videos raw, right? Like I might have a booger or something like that. I don't care. I'm trying to shoot it raw just to show the real me, right? And I'm going on a tangent, going off on a tangent, whatever. I'm glad you tuned in and stuck with me for this long. It's 14 minutes. I'm going to try to keep this the shortest video I've done this week. Taking personal inventory of your assets that you bring to a relationship is something everybody should do. It doesn't matter what your relationship is, what your sexual preference is, what you identify as. Everybody should be doing this. And then they should evaluate their expectations and see if they're close. If they're a huge mismatch, you're going to have to make some adjustments, right? Because if we get into a situation where you overestimate or underestimate, we're going to be dissatisfied and have a breakup and possibly heartbreak, you know, so focus on it. Men of Value, Scott Rockford. I got a call coming in. Thank you guys for hanging out with me for 15 minutes.